Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. This is Seton's clutch, perhaps Seton's clutch, and we have in the bottom, on the bottom, Blinchik, his legs facing the wrong way, playing UEF. And he's gonna make second land, third air. On the top, in the blue, ThomasHiatt. First land, second land, third air. Look at that, the build looks very similar. So both players are going to make 3 factories before pissing off to mid. And they even have the reclaim orders queued up, so Blinchik gonna move here. This is the classic spot to move. Don't know if it's the absolute best spot. Certainly in some scenarios you don't want to, well, you'll want to reclaim some of these because you'll be stalling mass. You don't want to walk the whole way, but this is generally where people actually stand because you get all these T3, all these Titan Rex. 2 Destra Rex are very close as well, so that's why people stand here. You can see the reclaim is not balanced on settings. Don't know if anyone will ever fix that. I believe settings used to have spider bots in mid. Not sure. Maybe have Fat Boy and a spider bot, something like that. But that was changed and the reclaim was reduced. And then we even had the reclaim change, which reduced the reclaim numbers for units which are in water. So the Destra Rex only give 900 instead of the, well, they give around 2000, maybe 1800 that they would give if they were on land, but they are in the water, so get a bit less. I have a couple of scouts here to spot for labs. You could run those through and kill trees and stuff. Doesn't have a huge impact on 1v1 play. Certainly would help a little bit. I'm not sure if you should make 3 factories here or if you should leave a bit sooner. Now the thing is, the reclaim is still going to be there when you arrive. It's not like it's all going to be gone if the other ACU gets there first. You can only reclaim so fast. But maybe 2 factories is enough. Now if you want to leave after 2 factories, maybe a second land or a second air factory would be better so that you're protected against air attack. I think this Hydro is quite late, I would say. I would probably not be going for these mexes and then going for the Hydro. I'd probably go Hydro faster. Common mid build on settings in team gameplay is for to build a factory, the ACU, maybe a mex, and then ACU leaves, and the engineers build like 2 or 3 P-gens, a couple mass extractors and a factory, and a couple of engineers go quite quickly. Make the Hydro and continue building power, or make the extra mexes. Let's see. We already have 3 factories up, 3 land factories up, and an air factory. 3 land factories and an air factory, so very similar. If we look at the score though, more for Thomas. He has more mass. He has twice as much power, or half as much power reclaimed actually. So Blinchik making use of the trees, but maybe expanding a bit slower. Only now sending engineers. Well, this is nice, sending 3 engineers over here. Maybe it's too many. Maybe 2 would be good. But this is nice. You should build in some redundancy when expanding on a map like this. Now, you do need to send engineers walking. Some people will be tricked into thinking You need to drop everywhere, but you really can't drop everywhere in settings. You have to walk to the mexes, and then basically you fill in the blanks with your transport when you get it out. And, you know, fill in those spots where maybe you got raided. Maybe this guy gets raided, so you're gonna have to drop here. Maybe one of these guys gets raided, so you're dropping more over here, then drop the island. This bomber is murdering innocent civilians with napalm. Feels Vietnam. That's like 11 kills. Absolutely disgusting. ThomasHiatt has a much better economy balance. Blinchik is really struggling for power. His power was lacking severely, which is unfortunate. Shows you that's, yeah, it's really painful. Can't afford 2 air factories, that's for sure. But this is good. He's using this for engineers, and he can send them into the trees to get all of the power out of them, chop them down, and consume them for resources. And he does desperately need that tree reclaim for the power. ThomasHiatt had a very nice balance where he had a very little amount of power, but he wasn't stalling. Now, however, that he's got all this mass, he's trying to spend it with mech upgrades and factories, and this shit is expensive, and he can't afford it. This is a good spot to reclaim trees from. Getting a factory up here and reclaiming into the air players forest is good. Also, some good spots to reclaim if you can avoid breaking the trees. The ones at the front are probably going to be broken, so focus on the ones at the back of your base to get the reclaim. See, both of them just don't have power. It really puts a dent in these mech upgrades. You can see, look at this, +4 instead of +6 because he's stalling. Actually, we can show this. Oh, I have to be in their view. And he stopped stalling just as I wanted to do that. But you'll see now where it's +6, go down to +5 there. Maybe Blinchik has worse economy balance, we'll see. He has only 2 on mechs, which I think is good. My point here is that the upgraded mechs aren't really helping him much when he's stalling, and maybe are a bit of a waste of power. This Hydra would be very nice, and we're going to see a drop to the back shortly. In mid, we just have 2 on battle, and this is certainly going to favor ThomasHiatt with the Aurora. He can hit Blinchik as he's reclaiming to from out of range, and then once Blinchik stops reclaiming, then he can kite away. Now, it requires a fair bit of reclaim, or reclaim, fair bit of micro, but it can give a massive advantage. Blinchik should not be idling his ACU. He should be reclaiming at all times, even though he has 1200 mass in the bank. He needs to get rid of this mass, remove it from play while he has control of the area, so that Thomas, even if he comes back with a better army and maybe comes out of the water with an upgrade, he doesn't leave any reclaim behind for Thomas to get. Now, Thomas has 8000 HP. He was not choosing to get an upgrade. Usually if you retreat to the water, use that time and space to make a gun upgrade or a T2 upgrade. But Thomas is not chosen to do that. He certainly has the economy to do that. He has 1000 power income, and you can see this energy bar and just a pretty even mass bar. That means he can go for the upgrade. He has the overflow, but he's not doing that. He's chosen to come out of the water. He doesn't want to give up the reclaim, so he comes out and he's going to steal as many of these wrecks as he can. As Blinchik actually pushes this way, I think it might be a mistake to allow Thomas to take this reclaim, because he is in a great position to use it. You can see his mass is running out. He started some upgrades, started some more factories. Yes, he started a T2 air upgrade. Just a very good choice. And oh, this is really dangerous from Thomas. He's come way too far out of the water. No need to be here. And Blinchik has returned. He needs to use his units to block, but he's not blocking. Oh no. A block there, and Thomas surely dies, but now he gets to the water. Look at that, only 2500 HP. If he's blocked there, and if the tanks, all of these tanks are in range, only maybe 10 or 15 were in range at any time. That was a suicide from Thomas that he got away with. Oh, look at this. Very sneaky drop here. Now we're going to see a proxy. And the longer that goes unseen, the more devastating it could be to Thomas. Now it looks like he's going this side with Navy. He's queued up a lot of naval factories, which might be too many. But we'll just see. We have... This will be seen because this engineer has an order to build this mechs. So it will be seen pretty quickly, and then we will see bombers. We can see gunships coming over. There are gunships being made. And Blinchik has stolen Thomas's island before taking his own. So you can see, if you just have more, if you have APM, you can get an advantage if, say if he had 2 transports here, and then he would be dropping all of these mexes and dropping this island when he's dropping over here as well. That would be, you can see he would just have more mexes for more of the time. That's really the challenge of maps like this, is APM becomes a bigger factor because people will have a better idea of a better understanding of what the correct move is without being able to execute. So on a lot of maps that's not the case, and people don't actually, if you gave them extra APM, they wouldn't actually improve greatly because, well, they probably don't even know how to micro their units correctly. They probably don't even know what decision to make or how to use their APM. But on this map, it's like, on the larger map, just doing the basics is a big challenge. Just mechanically difficult to do everything that, all the basic stuff that you know is required. So APM certainly helps on settings. And Blinchik is a very solid player. He's doing good stuff. He's a good all-around player. Can play pretty much any map. And look at these drops, Aurora drops from ThomasHiatt. Not even dropping Phobos or Lobos, not Lobos, Berbers, because I guess he didn't make any. But he had some T1 transport. He had some tanks. He picked up and he's dropped them, and very successfully is killing mexes and doing good raiding. And we don't have a reaction from Blinchik yet. Needs to just send a couple bombers. Over here we do have the gunships trying to take out this proxy base, but we have mobile AA out, coming out of the factories. We have a static AA, and now we have the direction of T1 units as well, and gunships. Well, the gunships are kind of suiciding into the AA. Look, he saves that. Very nice. Very good play. How quickly he caught that. And both players have all their side basically, barring the damage that's been done here, which is honestly too much damage for what this drop was. Just one T1 bomber kills all of these very, very quickly. This one, oh, this annoying Aurora has 4 kills. But he will die before this mech goes down. Was saved by the nice HP of the UEF mexes. Speed gun for Thomas. T2 is done for Blinchik, and he's making a forward T2 power. So that's where he has his engineers. Although he has, or that's where he has his engineering upgrade. Now he has T2 mechs in the base, T2 NGs I should say. And what do we need to see now? Well, we have to think, if we're playing this, we have to think, how can I do damage? Well, no, not how can I do damage. First, do I want to do damage to Thomas's side? To decide that, well, you first need to scout, see how much economy he has, maybe see find if he has navy on any side. and get all the relevant intel. So does he have T2 air? Yes, he does. Does he have T3 land? We don't know. Does he have 12 T2 mechs? Does he have 20 T2 mechs? How many air factories does he have? Or how much air does he have? Is he making T2 transports for drops? All of these things we need to know to make our decision. Now, one thing Blinchik does know is that there's Navy in the top ocean and he has no factories there. So that is certainly something that needs resolving immediately. And we do see some factories planned over here. A big problem with the mass stall. So I'm sure we have T1 Mexes upgrading, and that is a big problem to have T1 Mexes upgrading with no assist when you're stalling this much mass. So look, you're stalling a shit ton of mass, you don't know what to pause, and you want to upgrade your Mexes. I mean, at least you need to be assisting the upgrade so that it doesn't take forever. And here we see the problem of the economy is too much power. So certainly need to stop building the T2 power and reclaim T1 PGens. One good way is to select every second PGen and control K them, and you won't waste any of the reclaim, and you can attack move. You don't have to click every single PGen. You can sort out your economy, and Thomas is making T2 transports and he is making drops. These are engineers, however. That's a strange decision. Does he think there's... Well, he knows there's something on this island. Looks like he's heading there. I guess he's going to try... Well, I'm not sure. He doesn't know what's on the island other than Mexes, so he surely has to presume that there's something there. And Blinchik is making a PD, but again, the mass stall. So it's building very slowly. And it's actually... Oh, they're going to die. Some of them are going to die. Oh, they just missed. I thought if they land on the structures here, they will be killed. And Blinchik, instead of finishing the PD, is reclaiming the engineers. I think he should have finished the PD. But it looks like Thomas has not realized yet. Here's something that's very particular, but you can see how the second engineer doesn't get reclaimed immediately. So one of the engineers will reclaim the wreck. So if you want to reclaim something as fast as possible, or several engineers as fast as possible, you have to not queue up all the reclaim orders. You have to give them as soon as the last one dies. That's probably not going to impact any of your games, but I think half the stuff I mentioned doesn't affect anyone's games either. So TML in the middle. And where's it going? Perhaps it's going for this unprotected T3 HQ. Now 3 TMLs or 3 tactical missiles are required to take this out. I don't know if we'll get 3 out here. Where is this engineer that's building? He's planning to build this. Oh, he hit the mechs. Oh, not sure if he intended to hit the mechs or if that was an accidental block. And we have the 2 T2 engineers coming forward to get the TMD up. It looks like he is going for mechs, not going for the HQ. Oh, the harbs are being dropped right next to the power, and there's no units around, and there's a T2 HQ is 2/3 of the way to T3. There's only some T1, a couple of T2 units around. There's no gunships, no bombers, and these harbs are going to do insane amounts of damage. All this power is dead for sure. Oh, Blinchik is dropping his commander back, which is a very nice move, but if he drops back here and all the power is already dead, then he cannot overcharge. But it looks like, oh, this is going to be interesting. It's going to drop right on top of them. He's gonna try, but the transport will rebel and move to the left. And he may still have the power to overcharge. The Harbs are losing a lot of HP just to the T1 and T2 here. The fourth T2 PGen goes down. Blinchik does have power for overcharge. He needs to overcharge this one and just shoot the other one to death. No! He had auto overcharge on. And it shot the one that was low HP, and now this guy has... Well, it looks like he's stalling power, so there's no shield for this guy. Oh no. This is not good. We need some T2 engineers to come out of this HQ. And this Harb is getting away. Still the proxy over here lives and just being extremely annoying. But overall not doing a huge amount of damage to any, certainly not getting any units to any mexes beyond this location. And we have a drop, but it's full of scouts. It's a fucking Snoop drop. Snoop Doggy Dog. It's D-O-double-G. Sorry guys, it's been a long weekend. I'm a bit delirious. So, Blinchik. Well, it would have been nice if Blinchik had dropped a T2 PGen, or just started one at the front and then dropped away and had his engineers build that, because he did really need that power and he lost T2 engineers. He lost 4 T2 PGens. His HQ was upgrading. It was not a good scenario. So maybe if he had just started a T2 PGen, let the T1 engineers around reclaiming trees to build that, would have saved him some hassle. And also if he had overcharged this cunt before auto OC overcharged the low HP one, he would be in a way better position. He would not have just 3000 HP. He would not have lost an extra mex. But to be honest, he only lost 1 extra mech, so that maybe he lost the Hydra as well. Ooh, sneaky drop, and it's not full of snoops. It's full of tanks. You can see the mass bar not looking good because he lost all those PGens. Now, say you're in this position where Navy's completely fucked on the top side, and I mean, say whether you have these or not, it doesn't really matter. These alone can't really save you. One way you can actually win back the Navy in this scenario if you proxy in the top ocean somewhere up in the corner around here somewhere where units, sometimes the corner is actually not as good because transports will fly to the corner and along the edge, so you want to be kind of in from the edge a bit. Build a proxy and eventually take back Navy. You have to be very careful to delay long enough so that you can have an overwhelming force and they can't actually react to your proxy at the time. That's one way to get back into the water if you've conclusively lost it, which you can see Blinchik certainly has. There's maybe a dozen T1 units and a couple of Destros. Even more, 16 T1 units. Now this drop, well, there's PDs. I think Thomas may have seen it coming and prepared some PDs on the way. But still, mechs has died and are still dying. Gunships will clean it up, and actually a Harb being dropped. So very active play from these guys, trying to react with their own drops to opponents' drops and stuff like that. That's why T2 Air is very, very good on sentence clutch, because these airdrops are so powerful that it's hard to say kill a Harb quick enough. It's hard to, certainly can't really kill a Harb with T2 land or T1 land here. So making gunships is very good for dealing with drops, having them around, killing other players' islands, raiding. If you can achieve air dominance around, well, you know, early enough in the game before T3 air comes out, you can do a lot of damage on the opponent's side with T2 air and with gunships. You can check out a game with Torren and Farms. They played recently on Sentence, where Farms just does a massive amount of damage with T2 gunships that conclusively wins the game for him, despite being pretty even up to that point. Torn didn't react quick enough really to the T2 air threat. Another harb drop, and it's coming to the same location. Where are these interceptors going? Well, he sent some of them after the transport, and some of them went over here after another transport, and he may not catch either of them. As a result, these harbs drop. This harb is also going to drop. Oh no. Now T1 PD is actually in the area, and a Percy, and so these two harbs will be stopped, and this harb is not being microed, and it's taking a lot of fire from just T1 units, and it's not even target firing T2 mexes. It will go down. So two expensive drops that led to absolutely nothing. That is very sad, but what is extremely bad here is that Aeon Destro can reach the HQ of Blinchik. And this HQ, well, its time is running out. There is a Lobo, a hero, slowly taking out this Destro, but it runs away at the exact moment it would have died. One more shot would have killed it. That is sad. We need some T2 air to kill these Destros. And on the front, many harbs, and I don't see any Percys. I don't see dead Percys either, actually. And Thomas is rocking the double gun with the heavy shield, 29,000 HP on his shield now. And an army of harbs and some T1 in there as well. And this looks very scary. How can Blinchik stop this push? He needs his own shield ACU and gun, basically. Match them like for like. As really, that's easiest way to play FAF, and the most sensible in many scenarios. Match your opponent's strategy, but do it better. Just be more efficient. But in this scenario, just two strats coming in, and I think they just took out the T3 HQ, sniped it. Now they're flying on, looking for more targets. There's a lot of power here that it has no shielding, which could be taken out. But what are they aiming for? Maybe perhaps T2 mexes. One strat is just left to die, dies in the turn. The next one goes after T2 PGen, also kills the T3 engineer here. And there's not going to be another T3 engineer. Oh, in fact, here's one right now out of this HQ. So T3 air for Blinchik, but no T3 PGen, and that means no ASF are going to be made. And we can already see a few ASF and decent number of Inties and Swiftwinds, and T3 air may just be the death knell for Blinchik. He has a much superior economy, far superior, but you can see the cost of it. He could not afford to be so ahead in economy. He's lost too much ground. He's lost the entire front position, left reclaimed there, and he's up against a double shield, double gun, and he only has a T2 ACU. He's now lost the T3 HQ, and that is certainly going to end him. He can't defend without Percivals. Oh, and that's a factory that was building a Percy, just gets taken out. And I think that Percy inside was very nearly complete. Look at that. It was about to come out of the factory. And now, actually, Blinchik being targeted down by the Harbs. And he disappears in seconds. Far too much damage coming out of those Harbs for him to get out of the way. And Thomas takes this win. Look at even over here we have Percy drops. Well played from Thomas. See, Eco doesn't always win, and Thomas won on many fronts there at once. He had the T3 air advantage. His Destros were doing damage, taking out mexes, even being in range of the T3 HQ, which was very bad. I think his strat micro is not good. You have to really micro strats quite a lot more, or alternatively just completely clear out your opponent's interceptors, which he could have certainly done. That would probably be the best option. Then you can just click on mexes and let your strat do its stuff. Or click on mexes in a line. So say like kill this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, and this one, then this one, and then fly away. So that it never turns and therefore interceptors will never catch it. But yeah, you have to scout the mexes so that you can actually click on them. So not exactly an option for him at this time, but yeah, well played both players. Blinchik with the more economy did not work out. He could not deal with the double gun commander and all the harbs. He needed more time to react. He was really reacting once, well, after losing the front position already. That's when he was beginning to react, and at the same time he's trying to react to the strats, the T3 air, trying to make his own drops. Another thing with the OEF, you can see that harp drop is far superior to the Percy drop. These Percys are going to take a very long time to walk around, and you can send T1 bombers after them. They'll die eventually. Did some damage, but unless you get Percys dropped right next to really valuable stuff, I think it's not too worth it. If you can get a transport to drop here, drop Percys here, then it's amazing. But unfortunately, fortunately for Blinchik, he did not do enough damage and couldn't defend the front, and also didn't get a chance to use his T2 Navy. Oh no! Here's another problem. That's very unfortunate. Happened to me in a recent game. Alright, upgraded my HQ is upgrading. I clicked the button on a different factory and then it started upgrading to a HQ instead of the support factory because the HQ wasn't finished. Damn. It's always sad to lose games when you make simple mistakes that are avoidable, but they happen to everyone really. So thanks for watching. GG will play it, both players. Send me replays. Hope you enjoyed this one. And sorry I missed yesterday. And yeah, have a good one. Bye guys.